What is something you will never give a care about? Story 1. My ex is begging for the cats back. She left us three to smash some dude halfway around the world. When she came back, she had the audacity to ask for the cats back after her 4-year hiatus in the country. So satisfying to tell her to go curse herself. Oh, similar story. Had an abusive girlfriend beg for a dog. She picked a cute little guy, got him for her. She proceeded to never take care of him and always complain about him just doing things puppies do. She would talk about getting rid of him and how there's something wrong with him. There isn't, he's great. So I took care of him, trained him, bonded, and he became my dog, really. After I dumped her because I finally was done with the abuse, she really calls me to ask when I'm bringing over her dog. I told her, she doesn't have a dog, I do. And I hung up. This is almost exactly the same story as my ex-wife. She left us 8 months after we got the dog, and the dog is now 10 years old. He saved my life when I was in a bad place years ago. I owe that dog everything. Truly my best friend. Same here. Dog stays with us. You chose to leave your family, and that includes the dog. I actually won a restraining order against her and her boyfriend, and the judge specifically awarded custody of the dog to me. And as another said above, that dog basically saved my life. He's my buddy. Sounds like that dog is loyal, unlike some other mongrels you know. Ex had to have a cat. I'm a dog person, but the cat was pretty cool. Well, the cat clung to me and became my little shadow. He'd grab the cat from my lap and try to force it to hang out with him, but she wasn't having it. He never took her to the vet, cared if she had fresh water, nothing. I did everything, and at the time I worked more than him, too. He ended up yanking, so I kicked him out. He threatened to take the cat, and she hissed and scratched him. I loved that cat. I had her for another 4 years. Still miss that sassy floof. Did the same thing, except I got him a cat to help with his depression. But after 6 years of abuse and smeg, and figuring out he was a self-centered narcissist that just used me for a roof and illicit substance money, I left and took my fur baby with me, who, along with his new little brother, another fur baby, are the lights of my life. I adopted a dog that belonged to my neighbors. There were a family with kids, but they all treated the dog poorly. The guy was especially bad, and he used to just roam the street. Eventually, they left, and they dumped the dog a long way away. We found this out from people who knew them. The dog managed somehow to find his way back to our place as he used to come play with our dog. By then, he was starving and was so matted we had to get a professional groomer to carefully get under all the mats to clip him. It took ages for him to eat properly without vomiting because he'd been so starved. Got him good and loved up and kept him. Vet told me he'd had blows to the ribs and jaw and had suffered breaks to his ribs. Anyway, months go by, and I bump into the woman from the family in a shop who tells me I've got her kid's dog. I told her she's welcome to him if she'd like to pay back everything I put into vets and care for him. She turned her back and walked away. He lived to the age of 17 plus, was the most beautiful little black poodle, and passed away peacefully in bed as a very old man. Rest in peace, precious Benji. Oh, that last one is so cute. It's amazing how animals really affect our lives. And in a way, it's great that all of these weren't kids. I could just imagine any of these situations being even more tragic if it was someone using the kids or threatening to take away the kids to hurt the other person. But dogs are just as precious, dogs and cats, and they're just as really essential to our well-being many times. Story 2. Scripted pranks. But what if it's a scripted prank with that dumb female AI voice narrating what you can already see for yourself? Does it make it any better? Oh, only if, oh no, "Oh no, 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 no," is drowning out all other noise in the video, too. Just pranks in general. Being a tool, but thinking it's okay because it's just a prank, bro. The worst ones are the ones that aren't even pranks. It's just straight up being a tool to people. I remember seeing one where this pretty white boy was going around asking people if he could smash them in the butt, because that's hilarious, I guess. One of the people responded by punching pretty white boy in the face, knocking him out, and I'm pretty sure knocking his teeth out too. You could see visible blood. One of PWB's teeth was missing, and his jaw was visibly unhinged. Pretty white boy's response? "It was just a joke. I got punched over a joke." Curse you. You got punched because you were being a jerkwad. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Enjoy your dental work. Nah, there can actually be good, solid pranks that make everyone laugh. I was part of one many years ago. Was working at a remote camp in the wilderness. While the camp OSS is associated with the Lutheran Church, we're extremely liberal and don't take ourselves too seriously. Anyhow, we were evacuated one summer due to wildfires. The group of us that stayed behind, with the blessing of the Forest Service, referred to ourselves as the Left Behind crew, after the post-rapture movies and books that were popular among evangelicals at the time. It's not something that we believe at all. Anyhow, after the evacuation was lifted, we started bringing our people back in by bus. When they got back to camp, all the first bus found were small pieces of clothing laying in the street and a couple of fallen over "Welcome Home" signs. We were all hiding in a neighboring building. We let them be confused and examined the piles for maybe a minute before walking out and welcoming them back for real. Everyone laughed and no one was hurt. That was a good prank. Yeah, I agree. There can be good pranks as long as it's something that's fun for everybody. I've been the victim of several pranks before where it was just people being mean and trying to prove that I was stupid or something, and I'm sure everyone's had that, but ones where everyone is involved, like this last one, that's hilarious. I love it. There should be more like that. Story 3. Hollywood award shows. Celebrities patting each other on the back. Sometimes they slap each other's face. Willpower. Honestly, I think the nominees should have to fight for the awards instead of voting for the winners. Last one standing takes the award. I'd like to thank the Academy, my MMA instructor, for preparing me for this award, and now I will have to thank my oral surgeon for putting my teeth back in later. Gotta go before I bleed on my Versace in the shoes. I can't remember who made the shoes. My head hurts. Gotta go now. Bye! The Academy Awards have been around since 1927. It being televised didn't start until 1953, and it's a way to monetize an annual event. The point of the awards was never to be a television event, so it's an extension of what was already taking place. It still gets 20 million viewers annually, which is a huge response, even though in its heyday it would get 40 million. That was a time when there were very few movies available to watch per year, and there were only 4 major television studios and no internet to watch clips if you missed something, so television in general was a bigger event. A friend of mine attended the Grammys at one point. They didn't have enough people going, so they paid him to be an extra, put him in a rented tux, told him when to clap, and gave him some cheap food under a tent after the fact. He wasn't allowed to talk to the celebrities, though. I got paid in food and to watch a once popular musician group for a political fundraiser years back for 3 hours of my time. Guess they needed bodies to make him seem more popular. Pretty much the rules were to stay seated during the event, unless going to the bathroom, and not tell anyone how much I donated to be there if asked. I had planned out that my father paid for it, so I don't know. No one asked, though. It was a 1K plate dinner minimum. I worked on a campaign back in 2004, and almost 15 years later, they contacted me out of the blue, and I thought they were asking for a donation, but just needed bodies. Send me a link to the dress code. I did not vote for any of them, but the food was good. I ate so much bacon-wrapped asparagus that I'm not sure how I lived till the next day. Yeah, if Grammys actually really reflected the best acting choice, they would probably tank in the ratings. And yeah, I don't really much care for them either. I don't know of any award show that would actually really be worth the actual point of going through it, come to think of it. What about you? Story 4. The British Royal Family. Truly do not understand the obsession with the British Royal Family. My mom is fascinated by the royal family. She has collectible dolls, portraits, autographs, knickknacks, etc. She's watched all the weddings and documentaries. We're American. I don't get it at all. Look how prevalent the words princess, queen, and king are in today's society. People are obsessed with their narcissistic, overinflated egos, and by association, those who actually have those titles. You know that feeling when you think a certain way about a topic, but you have no idea how to put it into words, and then somebody much smarter comes along and puts it into words perfectly, and you just read it and understand it immediately? That's what I got after reading your comment. Perfectly explained. As an American, I'm baffled at some of my fellow countrymen's obsession with the royal family. We fought entire wars so that I don't have to give a care about the British royal family. Some people are obsessed with the Kardashians. I think it's a similar celebrity worship thing to that. People looking for a role model where they probably shouldn't be. Story 5. One's sexuality. Who gives a flying care? General Mattis had the best answer on this. Frankly, Senator, I have never cared much about two consenting adults and who they go to bed with. Lesbian here. I've had people want to be my friend solely for my sexuality, and it's odd. Gay man here. The number of annoying women who've wanted me to be their gay best friend is too damn high. I lost my best friend in high school because of this. We were so close in middle school and the beginning of high school. He had already come out to me, and I was fine with it. But when he publicly came out, all the popular girls just swarmed him, and he just abandoned me. He was their gay best friend, but to me, he was just my best friend. Oddly enough, I was just thinking about all this yesterday out of nowhere. High schoolers can be such buttholes. I'm looking for a token gay friend to post about on Facebook. Are you available? As long as it's between consenting and loving adults and you're cool with me, I'm cool with you too. Hell, even if they fracking hate each other, you do you, homie. Story 6. Celebrity drama. Celebrities, period. And I can't stand that the only reason they're famous is they're celebrities. No talent, only entitled. Honestly, if you ever ask someone why the Kardashians are famous, even though I know there's a reason, the only reason you ever get is because they're just famous. All I know about the Kardashians is that they're not the same as Cardassians. I wouldn't recognize them if I met them. And I think it's unnecessarily too much knowledge about them. One of them is a race of reptilian aliens who follow a complex hierarchical social structure and are convinced that they're superior to all other species, and the other is a species created for Star Trek. Has the definition of celebrity changed? When I think of celebrities, I think of anyone that's a household name, which mostly consists of very talented actors and musicians, people that bring joy and entertainment to millions. I also don't care about their children, or the royal family. I don't know if I agree with the whole celebrities in general hate. I think it's just our definition of celebrity has changed. If someone has some talent, maybe you don't understand it, but your younger kids do, then cool, they're a celebrity. And yes, we all know there's a reason the Kardashians are famous. I wish I could expound on it here, but, the comments are free to post in, just saying. Story 7. Golf. A lot of my coworkers love it, and I couldn't care less. George Carlin. Watching golf on TV is like watching flies smash. I'm pretty sure most of their viewership is people who want to take a nap. That's exactly what my dad says. He loves playing golf, and I tried watching it with him. Couldn't stand it. So I asked him what he liked about watching this. In his words, "Oh, I don't. It's just very peaceful. Announcers never yell. People clap very politely, there's birds and wind blowing. The best part is, if I give a damn who's winning, I can wake up at any moment and barely anything changed. I can just stay awake long enough for a few swings, catch up on the scores, and fall back asleep. Honestly, I get it. It's virtually identical to putting rain sounds or white noise in the background to fall asleep to. Oh, I don't, it's just very peaceful? Until ads come on that are 300% louder than the peaceful volume of the game, blowing out the eardrums of everybody in a 20-meter radius. Story 8. Work. For the way most workplaces treat people and how little you get from any work arrangement, I just don't believe in giving my all. Most people don't realize how many years they're taking off their lives by taking on the levels of stress in most workplaces. For what? A salary that barely keeps you afloat so that you can keep experiencing work for years? The employers get the better deal because they pay for labor and don't have to share any of the wealth created by those laborers. In a 24-hour day, we should be sleeping 8 hours. That leaves 16 hours for everything else. If you factor in commuting, work takes up over half our conscious daily life, which is quite depressing. The even more depressing part is that by the time you're home from work, good luck having the energy to do anything beyond becoming one with the couch. The only good thing is that 4-day workweek discussion is becoming increasingly mainstream and might just have a fighting chance. I think there's a good chance it'll take hold in Europe, and then hopefully the rise of pro-worker unions in the US will grab hold and never ever let go.
Please like and subscribe if you made it this far. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the video and have a wonderful day.
Story 9. Gender reveals. Edit. Some people seem to think that I want gender reveals banned or that I'm actively against them. Not the case. I simply don't give a care. Thanks for all the upvotes. Cutting a cake with the center revealing color is one thing. Polluting an entire village's river permanently ticks me off, and I wish those people wouldn't breed their stupidity into the gene pool. Or that dude that caused a wildfire because he was using explosives during a gender reveal. I brought cupcakes with blue filling to work. My coworkers would wander past my cube, take a guess, bite a cupcake, say, "Oh, it's a boy, nice," and move on. It was nice and low-key. I like that, because people want cake and will take an interest in your baby's gender to get some. What's funny is that most of my coworkers are older and less online than average. A good half of them had no idea what a gender reveal was. But, hey, I like cupcakes. Enjoy your son. Story 10. Other people's kids. I don't want to hear what they said, what they wore, what they made, what they did, or what they learned in school. I just don't care. With that said, I do still care about children's well-being, generally speaking. Children should be treated fairly, be well taken care of, and never abused. But as a child-free individual, I just have absolutely zero desire to hear about what someone's kid did. I have a kid and second this. I don't care what your kid did. I care what mine did, but I know you don't. Simple logic. Keep your kids to yourself. As a mom, I feel this way too. Your baby looks the same as it did yesterday. We don't need another damn picture of it, thank you. Nothing grosses me out more than when parents post pictures of their babies with food smeared all over their faces. Why do they think it's cute? I like babies, and I can't stand that. Story 11. Social media influencers. Influencer is just advertiser. They are human advertising. Yep, I always find this answer funny. An influencer isn't just a blonde girl annoyingly TikToking and snapping Instagram pics. Anyone in any niche market with a decent following is an influencer. There is nothing I would do or buy because an influencer told me to do it. Ever. Especially the younger bratty ones who are 15 but act like they're in their 20s. It's the older ones for me. Mid-30-year-olds screaming into a mic or doing fake charity for views. Just rubs me the wrong way for some reason. My lip is curling up and I'm frowning just typing it out. Or vice versa. They're actually in their 20s but act 15. Story 12. Spoiled rich people. I wish. But the richest, most spoiled have way too much power for me to ignore. Yeah, I was gonna say, spoiled rich people basically run the world. You can try to not care about them, but you better believe they care about you. They're looking down on you saying, hey, I want what they've got. Food went up, rent went up, healthcare went up. Those aren't forces of nature. Those aren't random. Someone decided to do that and hopes you're not going to look up and care enough to do something about it. When I was going through an awful period in my life, I used to binge on The Real Housewives. It made me laugh that they made up problems to be upset about when I was going through actual real-life smeg. Story 13. How Geico can save me 15% or more on car insurance. Oddly enough, when I switched to Geico, I saved exactly 15% over my previous insurer. It was uncanny. Same, though, but now they keep raising it. The lizard controls everything. I live in the city. I don't have or need or want a car. I also can't drive due to a skull injury and seizures. I swear, every other YouTube video I watch has a fracking Geico commercial. I want to cook and eat that fracking Australian gecko. Story 14. The Kardashians. Edit. Holy cow, thanks for the gold. I really appreciate it. Yeah, they occupied Bajor for 50 years and then have the audacity to align themselves with the Dominion. I say frack 'em. It's not you I hate, Kardashian. I hate who I've become because of you. They've not had the same prominence since the end of their occupation of Bajor, but I think it behooves us all to keep an eye on them. Gull Jenner with the sweatshops truly ruined the southern land provinces. Story 15. Reality TV and its stars. Are you telling me you don't follow every action of every housewife, bachelor, bachelorette, and 90-day fiancé? I don't know who you even are anymore. Cooking shows are fracking fantastic when done well. The last 10 seasons of Top Chef were amazing. MasterChef Canada is amazing, especially Season 5, and the Great British Baking Show is fantastic. There's no drama, just lots of great stories and wonderful food. Seeing their creative ways of accomplishing difficult challenges and rising to the occasion is rewarding to watch. Story 16. Steven Seagal. Fatly going around corners is all I will remember him for. I've been online for 47 years, Steven Seagal. If you want to die laughing, watch a few of the later Steven Seagal movies on Netflix. He doesn't even bother to change outfits. Same clothes, same scarf, different movies, different universes. My husband and I cackle watching him fight standing still. Story 17. Others' opinions of me. How to get this superpower? It just happens as you get older. Speaking only for myself, it was just a realization I had. These days I choose carefully who has the privilege of bending my ear with their opinion of me. You let the wrong people in and they'll turn on you. Learned that the hard way. Story 18. Extended car warranty. So, I got one. And gotta say, worth it. I bought mine from the dealership. Replaced a whole transmission. Cost me diagnostics. My brother bought a used ex-rental SUV with a third-party warranty. The warranty covered his transmission replacement. He probably came out $3,000 ahead, including the cost of the warranty. May not work out that way for everyone, but he did. Story 19. What 2 or more consenting adults do in the privacy of their home? What about just one consenting adult by himself, asking for a friend? Incredibly important. No one consenting adult should be left unsupervised alone at home. This is a health and safety regulations risk. We ought to put up telescreens to monitor you. Ha! You fool! You played right into my trap. That was my kink all along. Story 20. I don't know. The truest way to not give a frack about something is to not know if it's a thing to give a frack about. The real lessons were the things we didn't give a frack about on the way. And if you find out about it, briefly wonder why the frack it's a thing and forget what you were wondering about before you complete the thought. Story 21. Celebrities' political opinions. One time, Elvis was asked a political question at a press conference and he responded with, "Ma'am, I'm an entertainer. My opinion doesn't matter." W. Elvis. Story 22. Facebook. My mental health genuinely improved so much when I deleted my Facebook and stopped comparing my life to everyone else's. Not just everyone else's life, everyone else's fake life. Story 23. NFT. Can't be funged. Believe me, I've tried. Story 24. Entitled celebrities and social media influencers. My first thought was the Kardashians. Story 25. Designer clothes. Seems like such a waste of money just to have status. Yes, and most of the clothes are ugly. Story 26. Breastfeeding in public. Feed your babies when they're hungry. I don't give a care. This is definitely a weird one to care about. Story 27. NFTs. I never understood the hype when they were in and still don't understand now. Story 28. Luxury items like crazy expensive cars, bags, and watches. Story 29. Influencers.
Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.